Bom dia. Welcome back to Chai with Shay. Uh, so, I've decided to at least try to do these free flow talking once a week because it's so easy to forget about it. And then one of the practice is to remind yourself, even when in the beginning you don't feel like doing something, to start the action of doing it. And then with time, it would just become one of the things you do. And I want that with this relationship I'm having with recording myself and then putting it on YouTube somewhere. Um, and so I decided today to do that, set up my camera, and then I got a text from the landlady of this Airbnb. Um, and so it triggered something in me. Not triggered, but it made me feel a certain way that I was like, okay, let me process it with talking to the camera. And it makes sense to talk about it right now because this is what's going on in my mind. So I've been in Brazil, in Floripa for 2 months now, and I feel so comfortable here. Like this whole journey of me looking inwards and finally expressing myself without masking myself started with this place, this island. And in some ways, it feels like it's maybe I need to say goodbye to this place now. Um, Not sure about the zeal, but this place. But once you start feeling comfortable somewhere, and then you have to leave that place, it's no matter how many times I've done this, it's always so difficult, and it turns out to be okay. I know on second I will go and I will be fine. It will take a few days to settle in wherever I'll decide to go, but it will be okay. But it's always scary, and especially now that I feel so safe in this place that I am at. um, this place is representing that safety for me. To leave this safety now feels a bit scary, but that is how we grow, by going past our comfort zones. And I think that's the work that, for me, I like to enjoy myself in my comfort zone as well, but sometimes I know it's necessary for me to challenge myself to get out of that comfort zone. So 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 I continue doing the hard things and continue growing. That's the only thing that's constant change in this world. So I had booked this place until 2nd of April, and that is in 2 days, in less than a day now, in one day now. Um, and I am not ready. I have decided to go back to Toronto. I mean, it's not like I decided, but one day I woke up and I decided to book the flights for 9th of April. And I made the decision, and then I was like, by the time it's 9th, I will be ready to go back, and I will be ready to do whatever I need to do in that place before I can go to the next chapter. What was a bit unclear to me was what my next chapter is, because there are so many, so many timelines I could take. And it's really, like, at least for me, it's really interesting because it's my life. But I could go to, let's say, back home and do something there, or go to this place and do something, go back to Medellin and establish a community, establish sorry, I thought someone was going to knock here. Uh, Establish my community there, build my work there. Or I could also go back to Toronto, look for a job, like so many things I could be doing. And maybe in any of those paths, I meet someone or I meet someone else, and joining that person is going to change my timeline to something else. And It's like when you're so deeply connected to yourself, I feel you can visualize all of those timelines. Like, what is this future? If I choose this, what's the future it's taking me to? If I choose this, what's the future? And then, the future that you want, you build that. And sometimes what why we struggle with picking what is right for us is because we don't know what we really want. We don't know our future. We don't know if we take this path, what it is going to lead us to. And the process of becoming, the process of living is learning more about that, learning more about what you want. So you can pick your future because you are the creator of your experience. Um, and so I see all of those paths, but I feel the next chapter was a bit unclear for me. And now I see those timelines a bit more clearly. And it's just a matter of me now asking myself, okay, what do we want? I know I'm going to, whatever I choose, I know I'm going to go all in and make it work. It will be a decision that the past self would have taken for some reason. And the future self is going to honor that decision and do everything she can do in her in what is possible with what she knows at that time to make that a reality or learn from that experiment. And then she will make the right decision. So the next future self is going to learn from that and take it forward. And honestly, the way now I look at my life in the past 30 years of my life, everything had to happen for the next thing to happen and for the next thing and for the next thing. So, and nothing is wasted, and I think that's the beauty of now that as I have really healed and connected to myself, understanding that everything had to happen. And you can never tell if something is happening for the right reason or the wrong reason. At that moment, it just happens. So I say all of this because I got the text from landlady that that someone else is coming in the place for 3rd of April. So I cannot even extend. So I was giving myself that, I don't have to make a decision because I can always ask her and I can extend without thinking about, oh, if someone else books it. But when she told it to me, my reaction was like, oh, okay. Universe chose that for me. Universe just decided that this is not the option for you. You have to figure something else out. It is time for you to leave. And and I think that's wonderful. The way now I see myself, even though it does make me feel like, oh, okay, I need to leave in a day. But at the same time, I feel so confident that it will be okay. As long as I got my back, no matter what happens, I always pick myself back up. When I fall, I get back up. I fall, I get back up. I fall, I get back up. No matter how many times it takes, because I'm not going to give up on myself. I mean, that's the only thing I have to do in my lifetime. From the moment I'm born to the moment I die, I just don't have to give up on myself. And wait, emotional moment. uh, no matter what happens. And no matter what I choose, I will always take that decision and figure out what's the next thing. What's the next action that I can take to take care of this human? What is it that I can do today so I can be more peaceful tomorrow, so I can be more content tomorrow? What is it that I can do right now so I can be more content in the next hour? Or I can make my life a bit easier, or I can figure out what I want from my life so I can start planting the seeds. So if I can have an idea of what I want my future to look like and which timeline I want to choose, then today I will start planting the seeds. So when I plant those seeds and continue watering them every day, that is our practice, to continue watering, to continue showing up, and these seeds, in its due time, it will sprout. It will take its time, but it will blossom and it will show you the path to the timeline you're going towards. So, all this to say, now I have to decide where I'm going in one day. And tomorrow is for packing and cleaning up this place. Actually, it's really good that I haven't done grocery in a few days because now, but I do have a lot of eggs to finish. Oops. Oh my God. Yeah, I definitely thought about I was going to stay until 9th, but I'm going to figure it out. This content that I feel right now, because the reason I say that is because in my past life, which was basically a year and a half before, I was such a control freak. If something like this would have happened, I would have gone into a spiral, and right now I would be researching the shit out of. I mean, this wouldn't even happen because I would have planned everything to the dot about where I'm going to be and what I'm going to do. Um, I once took my sister for her birthday trip somewhere. And for the 3 days we were there, I had planned everything. Okay, I even there's an app, Trip It or something, and you can plan the itinerary of this is what we're doing 9 to 2 o'clock, and then we're going to walk, and then we're going to do this. And I was like, okay, it's a birthday trip, 3 days. I need to make it perfect. So I planned that, sent it to her. The Airbnb check-in, and then the Airbnb at that time, it didn't turn out to be as I had expected. And the way I freaked out, because I'm like, my sister's birthday is going to get ruined. I'm not a good sister. I'm not doing it right the way I should, the way to make her feel calm and content because she has been working for her studies. And I was freaking out. And my sister's looking at me and she's like, it's okay. It's okay. I have you. That's all I need for my birthday. So, yeah, I have been such a control freak when it comes to situations like these. And in my becoming and undoing of who I was, I had to let go of so much control, slowly let go of. I think I was holding on to the wrong things. I was holding on to the wrong things. I was trying to control the wrong things. What I really needed, not to control, but to find my stability in, was myself. Was, okay, how can I show up for myself? How can I become the person who takes care of this inner cutie? And no, I wasn't focusing on that. I was like holding on to external things to take care of me. Uh, and Now I'm learning that I need that stable ground, let go of that control. Uh, and I'm so proud of this progress that has happened because it it did consume my life, among a lot of other things. And right now, as I'm living and as I'm experiencing life and things happening to me or not happening for me, it's it just it just feels like, okay, well, this didn't work out for me. I do not feel attached. Like, of course, I'm open to anything. I'm open to universe giving me whatever it wants to deliver to me, like with open arms, like give me. But at the same time, I'm not attached to the outcome. I say that not just in terms of where to be, but also in what I'm doing, in terms of my work, in terms of what I want from life. Any new opportunities that come and go, because again, it's a seed that has been planted, and I choose which seeds to water and which timeline I'm going to continue the path on. And I lost my train of thought. I'm like, what am I talking about? Is This is wonderful, though, this whole thought process of allowing your thoughts to flow freely. This is how I write on my journal. This is how I talk to people. It is wonderful, chicas. It is wonderful to be yourself. And being yourself is actually a very good thing because you are amazing. And why would you want to be anyone else? And And I say that because so many wonderful things have been happening for me. Just because if I feel like I don't want to give my energy to this, I don't give my energy to this. I move on. If something tells me no, you have to go and talk to that person, and this is what you should tell to them, I go and say that. It's like I do not, of course I have a value system. I still know, uh, I have I have my philosophy around how to live, those that keeps me grounded, that shows me how to approach the external world outside of me. But outside of that, I do not judge my thoughts, I do not shame my thoughts, I do not I let that just be, and it's wonderful to do that. In movement, that's the work we do with intuitive movement, with free flow movement, just letting ourselves be free, to let our bodies communicate in the language that they are meant to speak in. Like movement is the language of our body. So, and when you start moving your shoulders, your arms, your hips, it's like different areas of you get lightened up and they tell a story. It's like something gets revealed. And I feel we have lost connection with our bodies because for some reason we assume that being an adult means being stiff. Like if you see someone on the street dancing or just expressing themselves, they are seen as an anomaly. They are seen as, oh, they are expressing themselves. Like it is not seen as something that is normal. And I don't know where in the society did we move from being these free dancing people in the wild to now seeing that as an exception. uh, I once shared a video of me, I don't know what I was doing, something random, as always. And someone said, oh, okay, yeah, I remember it was a spinal wave video, which I was doing in a yoga pose. And someone said, it looks like something out of a cartoon character. And I'm like, a human is moving, like I am expressing my body, and it's the most natural thing for me to do, and it is the most natural thing for you to do as well. We have just forgotten how to do that, and now we associate that with a cartoon, with animation, with something outside of us. um yeah, it's free, it's wonderful to be free in your bodies and let it speak to you. It's the first language that our bodies ever learn to speak when we are born and we start to walk. Like, if you're watching this, please, 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 please move your body for me. Put one song, just one song. Take any song. Um, go to go to my profile and look at all the videos and pick any song that you like. For one song, just play and close your eyes, close the lights, and just dance in your living room. Do not even see yourself. Just see a vision as you're moving. Give yourself that, like, allow yourself to experience that because, oh my God, chicas, it is better than sex. Yeah, please, please, please move your bodies. Ah, I love movement. I love teaching movement. I love teaching other people how to be free in their bodies. It's the I when yoga found me, oh my God. It had to happen at that time. It had to. Uh, because, I have ADHD, okay? I have a hobby basket back when I was living in Toronto. Uh, and over the course of the few years I lived there, the hobby basket was filled. It had an embroidery kit, which I did do some embroidery for the 3 days straight. And then third day onwards, a graveyard of my hobbies. I do have a knitting kit. I knitted a scarf, like full on, hyper focused on that for my ex partner. And maybe it wasn't the right color because he didn't seem to enjoy it as much. It was kind of maroonish red, but I was so proud of it, and it was so fluffy, and that also went in the hobby basket. Uh, yeah, I think it's time to go back and give away that hobby basket. I need to stop. I don't know if I want to include this part in this. Okay. Yeah, I think it's time to probably go back and complete that chapter. Okay. Thank you for having chai with me. I'll see you next time. Ciao.